Harper Perennial and Harper Audio present Family Pictures, a novel by Sue Miller, performed by Vivienne Lainey. Part 1. Chapter 1. It's my brother Mac's birthday. He's 14. We're all sitting at the table in the dining room. The curtains are drawn, though you can see the glint of summer evening light through the cracks. When my mother rounds the corner from the kitchen with a glowing cake, we burst into ragged song. Heaped next to Mac's place on the table are his opened presents, odd, homemade things from me and my younger sisters. But a nice sweater my mother gave him on behalf of my other brother, and 3 Roy Orbison 45s from my older sister Liddy. You can also see the neck of the guitar my parents have bought him, leaning against the table's edge. It seems to me that color rises to Mac's face as we sing to him, though perhaps it's just the soft light from the candles that makes him look this way. Young, and suddenly sweet and shy. When my eyes meet his, I'm embarrassed. I feel a catch in my voice. The moment we finish the song, Mac leans forward and blows the candles out. In the silent twilight aftermath of our applause, my other brother, my autistic brother Randall, speaks. "Happy birthday, dear Mackie," he says. We are all silent. And then Liddy, the oldest, laughs. "My God," she says. "Did you hear him? My God." "I wouldn't get excited, Lydia," my father says. "That's about his annual quota of words, isn't it?" And my mother's face, which has turned in astonishment to her younger son in the dim light, instantly drops. My father changes the subject. Someone gets up to pull back the curtains on the windows, to let what's left of the daylight in. This is the way I remember it. But I'm wrong. My mother tells me he never spoke after the age of 4 or so. My sister Liddy says it's her memory, her story, one she told me much later. I've appropriated it, she says, the way I do with everything in our family's history. I've changed it to suit myself, made myself older, an observer, when in reality I was an infant when it happened, and Mary and Sarah weren't even born. And yet, it seems as clear to me as a picture I might have taken. I could swear this was exactly what happened. But that's the way it is in a family, isn't it? The stories get passed around, polished, embellished. Liddy's version or Mac's version changes as it becomes my version. And when I tell them, it's not just that the events are different, but that they all mean something different too. Something I want them to mean, or need them to. And of course there's also the factor of time, of how your perspective, your way of telling the story, of seeing it, changes as time passes, as you change. Now, for example, I see that we must always have known, my younger sisters and I, that we hadn't been wanted or planned, that there was something complicated and painful for our parents in our very existence. But what we would have said then was just that there were too many of us, too many children in our family. So this might be one place to start my version of our story. How we felt about ourselves in our world, where every house spilled kids into the Chicago street. Most of them spilled 2 or 3, though. 4 was a little excessive. 5? Absurd. And there were 6 of us.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?